Are you kidding? Did we seriously wait 4 extra days for this? Did we seriously wait 4 extra days for this? Luis Rojas, oh, they're like caged animals waiting to get out there. My fucking ass. They suck tonight. Come on. What the fuck was that? God. We got a lot to discuss with this one. We got a lot. I'm absolutely pissed. Everything sucked about this game. Everything sucked about this game when it came to the lineup, when it came to pitching, when it came to managerial decisions. Anything about this game, anything and everything sucked. Sucked! You know what doesn't suck, though? Fade grips. If you want, you could click the link in the description to get yourself grips on your controller just like this for any console that you're on. You could get cases for your controller as well. Get yourself hoodies, snapbacks, shirts, whatever you want. Use the code Python for the link in the description to save yourself 20% off. And while you're going down there, you might as well subscribe, click a like, turn your notification bell on, do all of that stuff, and follow me on Twitter also, because I do tweet out after every single game for you guys to give your thoughts and or questions or whatever you want about the game from that night. We didn't have any because all my Ranger fan viewers are Yankee fans, and this is my first time doing them, so hopefully in the future we'll start getting some questions and we'll build an audience here, which is why you definitely should subscribe for more of this content. But where do we begin with this one? How about with the umpire behind the dish tonight for both sides? What a fucking joke of an umpire behind the dish there. What a joke. What a joke. This guy every single time there would be a pitch far inside, he's calling it a strike, far outside, calling it a strike. The strike zone was way too wide on both sides. Gotta say that. And then Hoskins right off the gate almost hits a home run off Jacob deGrom. Thankfully, it was a windy night out, so Pilar ends up being able to play that. Hoskins risks going to third and then guns him down. I do have notes here. That's why I'm looking down. But right out of the gate, deGrom's pumping 100, 102. Things are looking great with deGrom. I loved that. Nimmo ends up dropping a fly ball there in the first inning. But then Lindor, or no, that was the second inning, my bad. But Lindor ends up flashing the leather as well in the second inning, which he made that play look so easy, just throwing it from behind the back, throwing it to McNeil, flipping it for a double play. Makes it look so easy. We have not seen that from any one of our players in how long? How long has it been since we've seen defense like that from a player? And then there was even at one point during the game where it was when the bullpen did their implosion, which we'll get into later, where he still makes a diving effort and he almost saved it from going into the outfield. I forgot who was off of that hit, but it was so close to being stopped by Lindor. He almost flashed the leather there. Or not flashed the leather, but he almost just stopped it from being worse than it ended up being, the damage from that. The fourth inning, Alonso was being patient at the plate, which was good to see. Ends up walking. And then McNeil almost hits a 3-run shot after the 2 walks that were in front of him, but falls short of that because, again, windy day at the ballpark. That McNeil ball, oh my God. There were so many times tonight where the baseballs were juiced because I think they said on the broadcast that it lost 3 to 5 feet. Thank you. I could talk. 3 to 5 feet. The ball lost in terms of how far it travels. So we would have been in great company if it did, but it doesn't matter. James McCann ends up getting the first RBI of the season. RBI single to drive in Pete Alonso. By the way, deGrom ended up getting the first hit of the season in the third inning. Forgot to mention that. Lindor also in that. I totally skipped the third inning. My bad. But deGrom got the first hit of the season for the Mets. Lindor was giving a tough time at the plate for, I believe Moore was still on the mound at that point. Gave him a tough time at the dish. Was fouling a lot of them. Almost hit a home run on one of them. But back to the fourth inning. Nemo fucking just was awful defensively. He misplayed a ball. He got on base though that inning because Adam Hazley misplayed a ball, so that we started getting a little bit of a rally going here. We got 2 runs this inning because then DeGrom gets an RBI single, and the Mets. Instead, this is where the first managerial thing kicked in. This is where it all started for the Mets tonight, when you had the bases loaded and you don't put Dom Smith up with a righty coming into the ball game, and you got Kevin Pillar still up there. You have a chance to blow this game open by getting Dom Smith out there into the game, which by the way, I was pissed off enough with the way the lineup was constructed today. Nimmo should have been leading off regardless. Smith should have been in this lineup. He proved enough last year against both righties and lefties that he should have been in the lineup tonight, no matter what, in my opinion. I don't know how Kevin Pillar got in the lineup, nevertheless led off tonight. That was just so stupid in my opinion. 5th inning, though, Gregorius has an error, and then that leads to Conforto getting on base, and Alonso got a single that inning. So good to see Alonso and Conforto getting some hits tonight. DeGrom throws a filthy slider to get Hoskins. DeGrom was so gross tonight. He was so gross. And then DeGrom, 77 pitches, and Luis Rojas goes to the bullpen already. What are you doing? What are you doing, Rojas? 77 pitches and you're taking him out of the game? Why? I do not care. That's opening day. You're seeing all these teams letting their guys go to 90 pitches or whatever. On the broadcast, they kept saying, oh, it's going to be interesting to see. You want to save your guys for the back end of the season and everything to make sure they aren't tired. No. You got to treat every single game like it's game 7 of the World Series. We learned this lesson. We learned this lesson. Oh boy, did we learn it in 2019, where you could fall this short of missing the playoffs, and then you could look back at games like this where you didn't treat it like it's game 7 of the World Series, and you end up losing because of it. By the way, it's embarrassing that DeGrom has the best batting average on this team. Just got to say that. But it blows my mind that you don't let him go out there for another inning. You have the best pitcher in baseball on your team who's proving he's getting better with age, and he's only at 77 pitches. It doesn't hurt to throw him back out there. It wasn't like it was a situation where before DeGrom went back onto the mound, they had the pitch hit. It was a decision where, hey, do we pitch hit for him to help maybe build up some run, get some more runs on the board? Like, no, you had Kevin Pillar up next. You had flexibility here. There was no reason DeGrom should have been pulled out of that game. He should have been in the 7th inning without a doubt. It made no sense because we know the story of the bullpen. We know the story. Why was he pulled out of this game? Castro did great, though. Don't get me wrong. Castro ended up throwing he almost set up a home run, actually. So I shouldn't say he did great. So that windy night ended up saving Castro from giving up a home run. But he still ended up keeping it scoreless. So he did his part. Other than that, he was pumping 100. He looked great tonight, in my opinion, which hopefully we'll keep seeing that. Alonso played some great defense in inning. 8th inning. The 8th inning. Here we go. This, oh boy, the 8th inning. So Castro out. Trevor May into the game. I'm excited. I'm a huge Trevor May guy. I loved him coming into this game. I loved the signing. I was excited. It's one game. We're not going to act like he's the worst guy in the bullpen after one game, because we still have to remember Dellin Betances and Jerry's Familia are back there in the bullpen. Believe me, the bullpen sucks. Do not take that for me saying the bullpen is good. That is not at all what I'm saying. This bullpen is far from good, but And especially because you're missing Seth Lugo, you let Justin Wilson walk, which I'm still upset about that. I don't get the whole thing where Met fans were fine with letting him go. In my opinion, he was your second best guy in the bullpen, or maybe third best last year, because Diaz was good last year, but he was one of your best relievers. Over the past 2 years, it was him and Lugo constantly dominating in the bullpen, and it doesn't hurt to have two lefties. It doesn't. And having him tonight would have been huge. Would have been huge. Because he's familiar with this with this Philly squad, with Bryce Harper. He's familiar with the division. Juan Soto, Freddie Freeman, Justin Wilson got used to those guys, and he is the perfect lefty specialist, in my opinion. And it just sucks that we let him go. But back to this, May comes into the game. He threw a filthy slider to Adam Hazley, got him out. And then here we go. May starts, he starts walking guys, starts letting up some hits, and then Aaron Loop comes in with the bases loaded against Bryce Harper. First pitch, he pegs Bryce Harper on an off-speed pitch. Come on, man. Come on. Actually, I don't think it was first pitch. It was second pitch. My bad. Second pitch or whatever it was. He hits Bryce Harper. Come on, man. And it's 2-1. And then or was it a tie game actually at that point? I don't even remember it anymore at this point. But then you have the Luis Guillorme play. What are you doing? What is that throw to James McCann? And that breaks open the game. I'm pretty sure that was the same sequence, actually, that ended up... No, actually, I don't think it was, where Lindor almost saved a couple runs there. But Guillorme fields it at third. Yeah, no, definitely wasn't. Guillorme fields it at third, overthrows it completely, and then 2 runs come on in, and then the Phillies end up taking a 4-2 lead, and then Gregorius gets a fly out to make it a 5-2 game. This bullpen sucks. I said it all offseason that I was not content with this bullpen, and everyone was just like, hey, this bullpen is severely upgraded. We got Trevor May now. Aaron Loop is great. Miguel Castro looking great. McWilliams is going to look great also, who's on the opening day roster, by the way, and hopefully he will be, because he's a guy that I'm really hoping ends up panning out, because we need more guys in this bullpen. I can't stand the same guys. I can't stand it. And it's day one. Even though it technically was different guys out there from the bullpen. This just means now tomorrow we're going to have to go to Familia. We're going to have to go to Betances. Like, we're gonna have to go to the guys that we were questioning about going into the season. We're gonna have to use Gazelman. We're gonna have to start using Familia. We're gonna have to use Betances. Right? You don't have I guess Joey Lucchesi maybe could be the lefty. Which, by the way, why was he not the lefty coming out of the pen tonight to face Bryce Harper when you have him? You have him in the bullpen tonight. I don't understand why you don't use him, because now I feel like you're in a position where you can't use him because he needs to get his proper rest to be able to pitch at some point. Although maybe they could skip maybe they could start Stroman. I guess because of the off day they could start Stroman also after DeGrom, his next start. My bad, but I blanked there. But in my opinion, you could have threw Joey Lucchesi out there, but either way, we're going to have to see the same guys that we've been ripping on for the past few years tomorrow. Whether we like it or not, let's face it, Stroman's not giving you more than 6 innings. More than 6, that's generous. I think he throws 5 tomorrow if we're lucky. But here, it's going to be the same guys, because then Robert Gazelman's going to be guaranteed at least an inning or 2. You're going to have then Betances come in. You're going to have Familia come in. Diaz, who knows what's going to happen with him. It's going to be the same guys that we've been bitching about for the past 2 seasons at this point. It's going to be the same guys, and it's going to suck to watch. It's going to suck. It truly will. And it's day one, and I'm already sick of this shit. I was so excited for today. I was really excited, and things looked good. And then the ninth inning, it's the ninth inning hope that the Mets always give you. They sell you the garbage. 2 outs. Pilar gets a single. Lindor ends up getting his first hit of the Met as a Met. We could all celebrate that, I guess. Lindor, I thought he had a great game tonight. His strikeout, I'm not going to give him any shit for because that honestly was stupid. The umpire just sucked and was calling way too many inside pitches a strike on that. And then Conforto ends up driving in a run, and I'm like, yeah, don't give me hope. I'm tweeting, don't give me hope. And they gave me hope. Alonso flies it deep right field, and nope, windy day. And it's not gone. On any other day, it's gone. There are so many times where the Mets, but just again for the Phillies, where you don't know what this game would have been if it was a normal non-windy day at the ballpark, because the Mets, there were so many times where they could have ended up getting a couple home runs. You had McNeil, you had Alonso, but then the Phillies also, you had Hoskins, who ended up missing a home run by inches, literally inches, and then you had Real Muto, who almost hit one off Miguel Castro. Tomorrow, though, Stroman's on the mound, and I have questions. I have questions for tomorrow's game. Like, is Stroman going to give you enough innings? If not, do you want to go to Joey Lucchesi this early when you have the back end of your rotation coming up soon? You got Peterson, and then you got Taijuan Walker. Who knows how many innings they're going to be able to give you? Granted, Stroman's not going to give you enough innings also. Are you going to have to use Joey Lucchesi this early in the season? I have several questions right now. The managing decisions tonight were poor from the lineup card being handed in. From the lineup card being handed in, the decisions from tonight's game were terrible by Luis Rojas. And the worst part is he faced Matt Moore, and the bats looked so dead at the start of the game. So dead. Come on. And then tomorrow we go up against Chase Anderson. Please beat him. Like, come on. This is already a game where you're going to want to be looking back on it at the beginning or at the end of the season and say to yourself, hey, this is a game we could have won. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous. So the Phillies improve now to 4-0. You got to come back and win these next 2 games. Every game matters. You got to win the series. You have to. And again, I just have questions of what's going to happen with the bullpen going forward. You're having questions like this on day 1 when the bullpen is fresh and ready to go and everything. What's going to happen when you're going to have to pitch guys on short rest? I guess maybe Aaron Loop could give you an inning tomorrow also. He didn't throw that many pitches. But after the way he performed, hitting a guy on the second pitch, do you really want that guy going back into the game going back in next game? No. No, you don't. Speechless. Speechless from the game tonight. DeGrom gave you such a gem of an outing, and it's always the same story. Always the same story. Same thing, different year. Same thing, different year. And it's just mind-boggling that... It's just mind-blowing. It's just mind-blowing. It truly is. The decisions tonight were just poor. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, though. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. And that's been Python. I'm out. Peace.